Hey Eric, here's how my project turned out. I know it's the end of finals week. I hope you're having a good time with all that. Um, I'm certainly trying. Um, so I didn't end up having the project run on itself, so right now it's just like an in-editor tool. I'm still really happy with how it turned out. I'm happy to have got marching cubes working. Um, so we've got the script here attached to just any old object uh, in our Unity game. And dimensions is you'll see what dimensions is. We'll start down at like 20. We'll set the radius to just under half of 20. And then we'll get into what the rest of these parameters do. At 20, it generates just lightning fast. Really neat. You can see I've got triplanar mapping here. We've got magenta and yellow and blue. Um, and Yeah, so I've got this is marching cubes, what I've done here. So I generate 3D noise and put that onto a grid, and then based on every cube in that, I assign a different geometry to it based on based on um, based on the index that you generate from which points are on and which points are off, which is super fun to do. I generated all of the different meshes for all the different orientations myself. There's another script in my project here. Um, I think it's Better Gen here um, that that has all the code for that. Um, and I put that all together. You've got there's an octagon and you've got rectangles and triangles and then there's a little like staircase kind of piece. That was super fun to do. Um, I would do this project again if I could. And then let's see, we've got the noise here. If we turn up the noise to like 30 or something, you'll get a much noisier surface. And you can turn that up until it breaks if you want. I know that there's like a few edged cases with the marching cubes that I didn't account for, but at lower noise values, you can get some pretty cool results. And yeah, so the radius works, so you can turn down the radius and get a smaller shape, and you can turn it up, and you'll see what happens if we go over that halfway point. Um, you get uh, you get artifacts at the edges of that bounding box that you set with the dimensions, which I think is super cool to look at. And if I like, my noise level, let's turn the noise down to like 4. If I like the noise that I've got, but I want a different version, I can just change the seed a little bit and get a new 3D noise. And you'll see that there isn't symmetry on any of the axes. I worked for a while to make sure that the noise function didn't have any symmetry. There might be a little symmetry, but for the most part, I've eliminated that. And let's turn up the dimensions just to get like a cooler look at this. It will take a second, so I'm going to pause and come back in like 10 seconds. You'll see I forgot to swap out that radius, so it's the same size but just further along. But if we turn up that radius let's give it as much as it can handle, we'll put it at like 30, and we'll try generating that again. All right, that took quite a bit longer than I expected, so I'm gonna have to look into that. It might be because the noise is higher than I usually have it. But you can see it's got some pretty impressive results here, at least to me. I'm not gonna toot my own horn though. Um, I think I'm just really pleased with it. I've got a few games in mind that I might use this for, and yeah, just looks pretty neat. I'm so glad I added this skybox because it really brings it together. I can imagine making some pretty cool stuff with this. Anyway, I I've really enjoyed the project. I wish I had met some of my other goals, but I'm really happy with what I ended up with.